Hey guys, Ron here. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to add this infinite slider to your Next.js app. Now, this is super handy if you want to boost your product's credibility on your landing page, like those as seen on sections that give your site authority and social proof. Or if you are running a user-generated app like this one. This product was built by an indie hacker named Evan, and it's a tool for people who need to create beautiful and simple vector illustrations. He actually started out focusing on generating only Notion style illustrations, but later branched out to various graphic styles. Okay, so let's take a look at our demo. So in here, I have three simple examples. First one is left to right, zoom out a little bit, and right to left, and finally vertical, the one you saw on their document. And notice when you hover over, it slows down a little bit. I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's get started by closing this and then open our code editor here. I'll zoom in a bit. So let's take a look at the library first. It's from Motion Primitives, and in here it says it supports both horizontal and vertical directions with customizable speed and speed on hover. And let's just scroll down to the installation part and click on these copy this command. You can see it seems like it's built on top of Shatsian's component. And let's come back to our code editor, open our terminal, and then ignore all of that and paste that here to install this library. And in the meantime, let's just start by creating a new component. I'm going to call it home page. Doesn't exist yet, so let's create that. So under components, new file, home page.js, and rfce. And we can get rid of this line. Actually, we don't need it. Still going to work. And add a use client directive on top to mark it as client-side component. First, let's just start by adding those buttons. Let's say, give it a class name here, flex column, item center, justify center. And then inside, let's open another div called flex gap for margin bottom 6, justify center, and here we'll add those buttons. So button 1 is going to be left to right, and by the way, I'm using Shatsian button. You don't have to. And the second one will be right to left, and the third one would be vertical. And then we will add some states here. So const show vertical set show vertical is equal to use state, and by default will be false. And then you've guessed it, const show left to right set show left to right is equal to use state false. And then last but not least, show right to left set show right to left use state false. Okay, so we will attach the listeners to the buttons as well. So on click equals set show left to right. And by the way, this is the equivalent of you saying this and then set show left to right true. But you can just shorthand it by saying show left to right. Just looks cleaner. And same thing here, on click equals set show right to left. And on click set show vertical. So now let's come down here and then say if show left to right is true, and only then we want to show that part of the infinite slider. So let's go back to that document again and see the code. Click on code, and it's just a bunch of images, as you can see here, inside this infinite slider component, which we installed just now. It's under your UI library. Sorry, it's under your UI folder here, infinite slider. So because he's using his own images and I've prepared my own images, I'm just gonna copy that folder. So I've got a bunch of logos here, so I'll copy that, paste it under my public folder, which seems like I already did. So yeah, I already did here. Good. So now we can just paste that block of code. Instead, we're using our own pictures. Make sure we don't forget to import anything. So import this library here. Make sure we have imported the homepage in the page.js file. And let's take a look, see what we got. So npm run dev, and I'll come here. Okay, we see the buttons, and ignore this one, doesn't matter. Let's just click on left to right, and boom, we see that here. And when you hover over, you see it slows down a little bit, which is nice. So all I added was this part. Come here, duration on hover 75. So it creates that slowing down effect when you hover over, which is nice. But one thing I don't like about this is that all the pictures are not centered on the x-axis. So let's come back here and then open the infinite slider file. I believe you just need to add a CSS here. So item center, and let's see, it's good. Now it's centered, looks much better. Now the right to left is very simple. It's pretty much the same, except we lose the reverse true. That's all. So let's do that. Let's collapse that and then say show right to left if that's true, and we'll just copy this part, but then get rid of this line. And let's take a look. Click on right to left, and there you go. It's scrolling from right to left. And last but not least, let's just finish the vertical one. So come back to our code editor here and collapse this. Let's say show vertical. If that's true, let's show the vertical sliders, and let's see how it's done in their doc. So come to the infinite slide vertical, click on code. So for this one, they're actually using external links for the images, so we can just use that. And let's copy this part from the div. Come here, copy that, and paste it here. And let's check it out. So vertical, and boom. Look at that. Now, if you paid close attention, on that image generation app I showed you earlier, it has this white shadow sort of fading in, fading out on the top and bottom of the infinite sliders, which I thought is pretty nice. And so let's add that to our own component. So coming back to our code, let me actually just close the sidebar. It's taking too much space by doing Command B. Up. And do this. And let's add a relative to the parent div and a margin top 20. And inside, let's say div. So this will be a self-closing div. So div class name absolute inset x0 top 0 h24, so height 24, and bg gradient to bottom from white to transparent, and then z index, give it a 10. And then similarly we do another one for the bottom. So div class name absolute inset x inset x0 bottom 0 h24, not 24, h24, bg gradient to top from white to transparent, and it's z index 10. Okay, just to make it nicer, so let's take a look and click on vertical, and bam, that's much nicer, hey? So good job for following along, and as always, I'll put everything in the description down below, the links, the GitHub repo, and then the documents to this library. Thank you for watching, and give it a like and make sure you subscribe.